Just checking back in with everyone who's logged in to WebEx. If you're here for the Emerson case, you are in the right spot. Court still has not started yet. Again, there's still a lot to facilitate on our end. So just hang tight. Hopefully it'll start in the next few minutes. Thank you.
Any of that? Sit right where you are. And,
Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Sheriff here.
I think they didn't allow anyone yet from the other people to.
Are you doing the arraignment or is Mr.
I'm sure. Okay. Let me borrow one of yours.
Look at my name out. He's probably on the hallway.
Or have her. That'd be thank you.
Want to be the one no complaint so I can copy the judge.
I haven't unlocked the doors yet.
Are we gonna let everybody come in?
Copy. Call me.
Me? Not yet, okay.
Ready for the doors? Wow, see these minutes.
Okay.
That's what her radio is.
Okay, ready to find out next.
Morgan, do you have a position? It was Morgan, right? Did I make
Morgan,
that
yeah,
up? Okay, great.
yeah,
Do you have a position on the add-on? It looks like Lisa Lopez. She's on the, do you have a copy of this?
She's the add-on between pages 21 and 22.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Do any of the readings or things when the judge comes out, or you do that later?
Yes, I have one. No.
You do whatever you normally would do. I know this is your first day, so there's probably not a normal there, but
Yeah.
do what you're supposed to do. We'll be out of your way soon. Okay?
If I could have your attention for a moment, my name is Morgan Ashton and I'm with the District Attorney's Office. I'm going to read a list of what we call no complaints. What this means is if I call your name, the DA hasn't issued a case against you at this point. We haven't charged you with a crime or a violation as of today. That means you are free to leave. However, if there's something else that you have been charged with, that is still in effect. The most important thing to remember is that just because you are no complainant today does not mean we won't charge you in the future. Richard Lee Aguilera.
We are ready for the judge. We are ready for the judge. When we are done, I'm going to need a few minutes before we continue.
All rise. Circuit Court for the State of Oregon is now in session. The Honorable Jenna Blank presiding.
Thank you, everyone. You may be seated. Can I have a quick conversation with our news camera operator, real briefly, if you would, approach the bench? Well, how about you come up too? We can go off the record for a quick sec, please. Thank you. I know you already know that, but I just want to remind you. Thank you very much for your professionalism. All right, you can go back on the record. All right, thank you very much. Would the attorneys please state their names and appearances for the record?
For the state, Morgan Ashton, ASH, TON, bar number 223497.
For defendants this afternoon, unless otherwise stated, Stephanie Damon Moore, bar number 192874.
Thank you very much. We also have other counsel here as well. Is there another
Yes.
representative from the state making an appearance?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Nathan Vasquez, representing the District Attorney's Office in the state of Oregon. I am here for the sole purpose of the Joseph Emerson matter.
All right, and other defense counsel as well.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Noah Horst, HORST 076089, also here just for the Emerson matter.
All right, thank you very much.
Your Honor, I'm going to go ahead and read tomorrow's 9:30 a.m.
All right.
docket. State of Oregon versus Benny Dwayne Miller, true bill.
All right. All right.
And Your Honor, the first matter this afternoon, page 16, line 2, Emerson versus Joseph.
Joseph, stand behind me so they can't. Sure. Okay, stand
All right.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. For Mr. Emerson, he is truly named. We've received 2 copies of the district attorney's information. We would waive further reading and advice of rights, reserve all rights read into the record this morning, enter a not guilty plea on all counts. Request dates in the normal course.
All right. I have received the motion for preliminary violent felony determination and the supporting affidavit submitted by the district attorney's office. I am finding, based on the face of that affidavit, defense counsel, have you had an opportunity to review this document?
We have, Your Honor.
I am finding, based on the declarations in this document, that there is probable cause to believe that defendant has committed one of the offenses that is categorically subject to ORS 135240 sub 4 as set forth in the current presiding judge's order 2201-0003, meaning that I will not be addressing release or the setting of security today. Instead, Mr. Emerson, your case will be qualified for what I'm going to describe as a more robust release hearing that will take place at the courthouse across the street. You have a statutory right to have that hearing within 5 days of today. I will make sure that your case is set on the presiding call docket tomorrow, and you'll have an opportunity to discuss with your attorney when and if you wish to have that more robust release hearing set in the courthouse across the street. Let me ask the district attorney's office, were there any named victims who wish to make statements today?
My understanding, Your Honor, is that there is not at this time.
All right.
We will reserve that at the preventative detention hearing if we have one.
All right. Mr. Horst, is there anything else the defense would like to address at this time?
Nothing further, Judge.
All right. Anything else from the state?
Thank you.
We're going to set the grand jury report date to November 1st, 9:30, back here in GC.
Okay.
And Ms. Ashton, were you notified that we carried the Campbell fugitive matter to the afternoon, from the morning to the afternoon?
Yes, I was.
Were you notified of that? Okay.
Now I know.
I have a copy of the complaint if you want to take a look at it.
Take a look. Thank you.
He had another matter set for this afternoon.
My body right now.
Okay. Okay. Okay, perfect. All right, we're gonna go off the record for just a minute so we can catch up with some paperwork. Thank you very much.
The short answer is no. The long answer is if we get appointed to the fugitive, then yes.
So the Emerson matter has concluded. He has left the courtroom. Your free to stay and watch the rest of court, but you are also free to disconnect. Thank you.
For the fugitive, we'll take the rest if he doesn't. I would think it would be in his best interest to take it on the fugitive. Right.
You remind me of her name again. Sorry, what? Yeah, Stephanie. I'm looking at that Lopez and going to be requesting security for that map.
Okay. Do you know?
I do have a caller. I just want to make sure you're not here for your own court case. It's an area code 971 ending in 57. Are you here for your own case or are you just observing?
And Your Honor, this is Anne-Marie Scarlatta. I'm an attorney, and my understanding is
I'm not the judge. I'm the host of the courtroom. So are you here for a specific case or are you just observing?
Here for a specific case.
Which case is that?
Daniel Sheldon McNett. It's 23 CR 47781 and 23 CR 48072.
Okay, give me 1 second. Sorry. Could you give me that one of those case numbers again? Apologize.
Sure. 23 CR 47781.
Oh, okay, perfect. Are you filling in for Sean McGuire?
My understanding is I'm to be appointed today in place of Sean McGuire.
Gotcha. Okay, and what was your name again? I'm sorry.
Sure, it's Anne-Marie Scarlatta. The last name is SG as in George, ARLATA, bar number 065061.
Perfect. I don't have him checked in yet, but I will let the clerk know that you are on WebEx, and if he does check in, we'll get you unmuted when that when his case gets called.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Pointed to.
We are ready.
Campbell?
Your Honor, the first matter, second matter this afternoon is going to be page 15, line 1 through page 16, line 1. Campbell, first of Kelly. Shown holds at Clark County.
Are we addressing the his fugitive matter as well?
Yes, it's not on page.
Okay.
And I gave Ms. Greenwell a copy of the fugitive complaint.
This is a copy of one of the cases. Can I confirm, did they get your name and date of birth correct here, Kelly? Okay.
He's requesting court-appointed attorney on that.
Thank you. All right, do you find that you qualify for court-appointed counsel?
Also correct here? Okay, so this is another one.
Do we have counsel to appoint? I'm sorry.
So that is going to hinge on whether he is waiving extradition on the fugitive matter, and he is waiving extradition on the fugitive matter. My understanding is that means we will not be able to appoint an attorney for him on the other cases.
On all 4 cases?
That's right. That's my understanding. Is that correct?
And recently, actually, we were told that even if we are even if they waived, Metro needs to be appointed on all fugitive.
You were told that by?
Mr. Westover, and the Judge Albright's been agreeing with that, because Metro is making the first appearance consulting. I mean, if you don't want to appoint Mr. Westover, that's fine. I'm just saying what has been done lately in this courtroom.
I'm not asking to appoint Mr. Westover on this case.
Okay.
So, and do I have I got the fugitive complaint, but do I have the extradition paperwork on that?
Let me take a look. That's the case numbering in 013, correct?
That's right. I just need what he actually has to sign to waive.
Take a look.
Waiver of extradition was placed with the deputy this morning.
Is that what
Sure.
Oh, you gave it to him?
You have that? Oh, he has that. Okay. All right. So. So if you could sign where it says, oh, sorry, and the DA wants to witness this?
I'm just David Moore. That's my only copy. That's the original of it, so I'll just need that back.
You need to just witness that he's signing it, and then you'll sign it. Line under his. Just hang on to that. Okay. All right. So you can hang on to this. So this is the third case. And once again, did they get your name and date of birth right here? I need to just confirm that in order to request your release. Okay.
Not October 31st.
No, today's the 24th.
Okay.
Yes, go use the restroom and come right back, okay? What's your last name? Is it also Kelly? Campbell. Campbell, I'm sorry. Thank you. All right.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's
yes.
the original.
And
Yeah.
just for your information, it was 31st of October.
All right, thank you very much.
All right.
We ready to proceed?
Yes, thank you. Having addressed the fugitive matter, and because Mr. Campbell is not being appointed counsel today, I am objecting to proceeding on the indictment and requesting that the pending charges be dismissed because of the violation of Mr. Campbell's right to counsel
Let's start with the fugitive matter first, if you don't mind. This is on for, let's see, it's on for arraignment on the fugitive matter. Right? Yeah, we need to arraign him on the fugitive matter.
I don't know that I've ever actually arraigned somebody on a fugitive
that's
matter.
okay.
I think I've gone through the waiver process, but not.
So, all right, let me suffice to say, Mr. Campbell, I don't have do you have the paperwork in front of you, Galia?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, this is usually done in the morning. So, Mr. Campbell, it appears to the court that the Superior Court, County of Clark, City of Vancouver, State of Washington, has charged you with the commission of following crimes: to wit, possession of another person's identification, resist arrest, malicious mischief in the third degree, and theft of a motor vehicle. You've also been charged with the following offenses out of that same county: possession of a stolen motor vehicle, being in actual physical control under the influence, and resisting arrest. The District Attorney's Office has filed an affidavit of identity, which you have the ability to challenge. It's my understanding that you are waiving that right to challenge it, and that it is your intent to waive your ability to challenge the extradition in its entirety. I do need counsel, though. I can verify it with you orally here. To verify it, are you, in fact, Kelly Cecil Campbell, spelled KELLYCECIL with a date of birth of March 17th, 1989. Is that all accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I will find for the record that Mr. Campbell is truly named in the current fugitive complaint. I will note for the record, as was stated previously this morning, all of his rights are reserved. Now, Mr. Campbell, I've also been handed what's called a waiver of extradition. Before I accept your waiver, I simply need to make sure that you understand that you have the right, with the assistance of counsel, and I will appoint counsel if you want me to, but you have the right, with the assistance of counsel, to apply for what's called a writ of habeas corpus to challenge either your true identity or the legality of your arrest. You can demand that the state produce what's called the governor's warrant. Do you understand all of that? Now, knowing that you have those rights, is it true, in fact, that you wish to waive your ability to exercise those rights, waive appointment of counsel, and in fact, essentially agree to allow the state of Washington to come down here and take possession of you physically and bring you up to that state to stand in answer to these charges that I've already named?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I will accept your waiver of extradition. I will find that is made freely, voluntarily, and knowingly, and I will go ahead and sign the order documenting it. We will set a date 30 days out just to make sure the state of Washington came to actually get you. We don't want you sitting here in Multnomah County custody, forgotten about, okay? So when you hear this date, this 30 days out, don't assume that you're going to be sitting here in Multnomah County custody for 30 days. This is just a backstop to double check that you actually have been extradited. Do you have any questions about that? All right, we will do all of that paperwork now, and we'll set a date 30 days out.
Can we do 29, Your Honor?
Let's do 20. Yeah, the 29 is A-okay by me.
Thanksgiving.
100%. Let's not do it on Thanksgiving.
So November 22nd,
All
9 a.m.
right.
JC3, status transport.
All right, so all things being equal, you should be long gone from here by that next date. All right, that takes care of the extradition matter, which is 23EX00693. All right, then, let's address in order on the court's docket the remainder of your other matters, beginning with 23CR23721.
Your Honor, I'm happy to address these one by one, but I do have the same motion to make on all three.
That's fine. Why don't you go ahead and make that motion for all of Mr. Campbell's cases, and in addition to Mr. Campbell's cases, any other case for which the defendant qualifies for court-appointed counsel and for which we are unable to appoint counsel to that case.
I will, Your Honor. I am objecting to proceeding on arraignments for those cases and moving to dismiss the charges pursuant to the Sixth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution and Article 1, Section 11 of the Oregon Constitution, as well as Oregon statutory law. Mr. Campbell and others who qualify for court-appointed counsel and for whom court-appointed counsel is not available, their rights are being violated under those provisions, and it is unlawful to proceed with charges against them.
All right, Mr. Campbell. Well, let me turn it to the state. Go ahead.
So, Your Honor, the state objects to dismissal at this time and requests this be set out 6 weeks for an appointment of counsel. The state takes no position as to release.
All right, we have actually been setting them out 7 weeks, just for everyone's information. I'm going to deny at this time the defense motion to dismiss these cases. I am going to review them one by one, though, just to look at the relative age of the cases. I will, though, because we don't have an attorney to appoint to you. As Ms. Damon Moore pointed out, you do have a federal and state constitutional rights counsel. You qualify. You were able to complete the paperwork. I have signed it. But I have no one to appoint to you. For that reason, I am going to release you on all of the Multnomah County cases. That doesn't mean that those cases necessarily just go away, though, all right? I'm going to go through them one by one just to see the relative age and to thoughtfully entertain Ms. Damon Moore's motion to dismiss them as in each case. Again, going in order of the cases on my docket, beginning in with 23721, it looks like that case was indicted. I know that it has an information date that precedes that indictment date. But it looks like it was indicted on June 23rd of 2023. It doesn't look to my eyes like that case is very old or has had many court appearances since that date of indictment. Let me take a look, though. No, it looks like this is the first date for arraignment on that indictment. I'm going to order that Ms. Damon Moore perform the arraignment on the indictment on that case at this time. And I'm going to deny her motion to dismiss.
Understood, Your Honor. That's
23721.
Yeah. And on that case, Mr. Campbell is truly named. He reserves further reading and advice of rights, reserves all rights as read on the record this morning. At this time, Kelly Cecil Campbell enters pleas of not guilty to all charges, requests court-appointed counsel, and in the absence of court-appointed counsel, requests a future court date for appointment of counsel.
All right. We're going to give you a future date, and this will be your future date for all cases, which if I deny the subsequent motions to dismiss on those cases that we haven't gotten to yet.
12 for 1010 and JC3.
Tell me when you're ready for me to move on to the next case. Okay, Ms. Kolarova. Okay. Moving on to the next case on the court's docket, which is page 15, line 2, 23 CR 25013. It appears as though, even though there was a previous information that expired, that this case was indicted on October 9th of 2023. This is a very new case. It looks like we are here for initial arraignment on that case as well. So I'm going to order you, Ms. Damon Moore, to perform the arraignment on the case number ending in 25013.
All right, Mr. Campbell acknowledges receipt of a copy of the charges. He's truly named on that document. He waives further reading of the charging instrument and further advice of rights, reserves all rights as read on the record this morning. And at this time, Kelly Cecil Campbell enters pleas of not guilty to all charges and requests court-appointed counsel. In the absence of court-appointed counsel today, requests a further proceeding for appointment of counsel.
Same date, December 12 for 1010 and JC3.
All right, and then finally that brings us to case number 23CR 51765, which is the brand new case that has an incident date alleged of yesterday. I have found that probable cause exists for all of the counts alleged, all 5 counts. We are here for initial arraignment on the DA's information on that case. I'm going to deny the defense motion to dismiss on that case because it is not even 24 hours old. At this point in time, I'm going to order defense counsel to perform the arraignment on the DA information, and we will set a future date to try to find counsel.
Understood, Your Honor. Mr. Campbell's in receipt of a copy of that charging instrument. He is truly named on that document. He waives further reading of the charging instrument, further advice of rights, reserves all rights as read on the record this morning. And at this time, Kelly Cecil Campbell enters pleas of not guilty to all charges, requests a morning call date, requests court-appointed counsel. In the absence of court-appointed counsel, requests a further proceeding for appointment of counsel.
All right.
December 12 for 1010 and JC3. That case also is going to get a grand jury report date of January 3rd for 210 and JC3.
All right, so you're going to be released on these 3 new cases that you've just been arraigned on, but even though there's no lawyer, you got to come back for that appointment of counsel, okay? If you don't, a warrant could still go out for you, even though you don't have counsel, okay? I just want to forewarn you about that.
I have a new caller with the area code 425 ending in 36. Are you here for your own case?
Hackett.
Your Honor, the next matter is going to be page 16, line 3 through page 17, line 1, Hackett versus Davis.
Please appoint Jennifer List to the case ending in 149 and Jessica Charles to the case ending in 846.
Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Hackett. New charges. Can I just confirm? You're just to be away from the mic a little bit. Did they get your name and date of birth correct, sir? Stephanie, something just for the purpose of see you also have you're going to be held on your translation. You can serve. Don't, if you did get released on the new charges, you'd still. All right, on the new case, Mr. Hackett is truly named. He is in receipt of a copy of the charging instrument. He waives further reading of the charging instrument and further advice of rights, reserves all rights as were read on the record this morning, and at this time, Jaden Nathaniel Hackett enters pleas of not guilty to all charges and requests an arraignment on indictment date for that case. I'm also requesting that bail be set on the both the probation violation matter and the new case in the amount of $250 each.
So interestingly enough, if you take a look at the underlying judicial warrant request for the PV, it's not just the case number that's listed on the docket. It's not just 22CR 59149, but the actual warrant request itself also is inclusive of 20CR 58282 and 21CR 55771, a Berg 2, a UUV, and then finally the case number that is on the docket, the assault 4. I don't know why. I just want to point that out to you.
It's possible that those are cases that he's on transitional leave for, because he does also have a trans leave hold.
Potentially, maybe they're post-prison cases. I just wanted to point that out to everyone. The allegations of violation are failure to report. Looking at those allegations of violation, I'm not inclined to set any bail amount. I'm going to order Mr. Hackett be held on 22CR 59149 and the probation violation hearing be set within 14 days.
And on 23CR.
And let's address the new one. What's the state's position on the new case, the 23CR 51846?
Your Honor, the state is requesting secured release in the amount of $7,500. This was a dangerous elude at 3:30 in the afternoon in Fairview. At this time, Mr. Hackett was on probation for multiple other cases. The nature of the elude exhibits Mr. Hackett's motivation to avoid court and the consequences of his PV.
So interestingly enough, I have no PSA and no RAO on this case. Can you tell me what Mr. Hackett's, obviously I can see by virtue of the other case that he's on, at least 1 active probation and probably 2 post-prison supervision, so 3 active supervisions at the time of this offense. Can you tell me, if you know it, what his lifetime failures to appear are?
I do not have the information
Okay.
in front of me.
Tell me what his criminal history is.
One moment. So UUV from 2022, Berg 2 from 2022, assault 4, domestic violence 23, taking a vehicle without permission, Washington 23, attempt to elude, and coercion, I'm seeing.
Right. Well, I suppose that's the sum total of what I know about Mr. Hackett. The state's requested security amount is $7,500, and I didn't hear any request for any pretrial release conditions. I have no idea what the PSA is recommending, since I don't have a PSA report on this case. What's the defense position?
Your Honor, Mr. Hackett doesn't have any kind of income or assets at this time, and
Okay. Got it. Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Please continue, Ms. Davenmore.
Mr. Hackett doesn't have any kind of income or assets right now. There's no way that he could post something like the $7,500 bail that the state's requesting. I think any amount of bail would be a substantial hardship for him and a powerful motivator for him to return to court. We don't have any information about failures to appear, and of course, absent information, the burden is on the state to argue that he has a failure to appear history. So at this point, I think the presumption needs to be that he does not have a failure to appear history, and for that reason, we would ask for a minimum bail amount of $250.
All right. I'm going to set bail at $7,500 in this case. You are on supervision for 3 separate other cases. Your attorney is correct that I don't have any failure to appear history, so I am going to assume that you have none for now because I have nothing to tell me otherwise. That said, though, you are on 3 separate forms of supervision when you committed this offense. I am, however, if you post bail, you have to post 10%, so it's $750. If you post that amount, I want you to report to your probation officer within 24 hours of release, okay? I'm not going to order any level of pretrial supervision because I don't know what they're recommending. So I want you to report to your PO within 24 hours of release if you post bail. Do you know who your PO is?
Yes, Scott Nielsen.
All right, let me just double check that for you. Do you want me to get the phone number for Mr. Nielsen, for Ms. Davenmore to write it down? Or do you feel like you know it?
Yeah, you could. You
Okay, let me take a quick look. Thank you. Scott Nielsen is correct. The phone number for Mr. Nielsen is 503-988-8450.
Next court appearance on the new case, November 1st at 9:30, back here in JC3. Probation violation hearing, November 1st at 1:30 on the misdemeanor. JC2.
What time did you say the PV hearing?
1:30.
Everything?
You're all done for now?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
go to the next matter, should be the add-on, second add-on page 9-1 Lopez versus Lisa.
All right. Thank you. This one does have a PSA. What? Good heads up. Good. No Oreo, but PSA.
Please appoint Kate McMurtry.
This is a copy of the charges. All right, defendant is in receipt of a copy of the charging document. She is truly named on that document, and it's the top name and date of birth that is correct. She waives further reading of the charging instrument, further advice of rights, reserves all rights as were read on the record this morning. At this time, Lisa Lopez enters pleas of not guilty to all charges, requests an arraignment on indictment date, and I am also requesting her release to report to pretrial release services on this case. Ms. Lopez reports that she stays with a friend here in Portland, and she is working on engaging with alcohol treatment in the community and has been working with the Salvation Army to do that, and has been attending AA meetings and will be eligible for social worker, case manager support services through our office as well. With those supports in place, I would ask that Ms. Lopez be released to report to pretrial release services.
So it's impossible for me to tell because this doesn't have an RAO, but I can see at least 2 other pending cases out of Marion County. She has a felon in possession of a restricted weapon case out of Marion County that she was just released on October 16th. She has 3 failures to appear warrants on that case. She also has another pending case out of Marion County. I'd need to look up the charge, 22CR40224. That's 5 prior failure to appear warrants. I just started looking. I don't know how many more there are out there. I will note that the PSA notes failure to appear history. I don't know how many. I just would note that she was already on pretrial release in Marion County on 2 separate other cases, at least one of which involved a weapon.
I am going to go. It's on the 29th. They let me out early to appear on the last 2 for Marion County.
Yeah, I will also note that she also has, and if this is correct, according to the PSA, prior convictions for unlawful use of a weapon, burglary in the second degree, burglary in the first degree, and murder in the second degree out of King County, Washington. What's the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, the state is requesting secured release in 7,500 for the reasons you stated on the record. Additionally, in the case in front of you today, the defendant stabbed at a stranger and reported to the officer that she suffers from a delusion where she thinks people are in the street and are out there to get her. This is a public safety concern. Additionally, as you've noted, the failure to appear risk is concerning for the state, as well as the prior criminal history.
Just on the cases that are currently pending in other counties right now alone, there's 8 failures to appear. She has, frankly, a criminal history involving weapons that is very concerning to the court. With respect to the bail amount, though, the court's focus needs to be on a return to court. For that reason, I'm going to set security at $10,000. You have to post 10% to bail out. So the security amount that you would have to post is $1,000. If you do post bail, I'm ordering that you report to pretrial release services at a level 3. You have to report within 24 hours of release. If you post bail, absolutely no possession of any weapons whatsoever. No knives, no baseball bats, nothing that is a weapon. No weapons if you post bail. No contact with Mr. Matthew Hughes.
Next court date, November 1st at 9:30, back here in JC3.
And for the record, the attorney will be Harry Carson for Ms. Lopez.
Not Ms. McMurtry?
That's right.
Okay.
No, I was looking at the major felony credit.
No, that's fine. Thank you for the clarification. Thanks for catching it.
Okay. So your attorney's name is Harry Carson, and his phone number is right here. Okay. If you do post bail, you need to report to pretrial release within 24 hours of your release, or a warrant will issue and they'll pick you back up. Okay?
McGahee.
Your Honor, the next matter is going to be page 17, line 2, McGahee, first and second row.
No attorney is available to appoint.
Oh, my, thank you. Requesting court appointed attorney.
So this is a copy of the charges. Can I confirm, did they get your name and date of birth correct? All right, for reasons previously stated, I am objecting to proceeding on the arraignment and moving to dismiss Mr. McGee's charges at this time.
All right, I'm going to deny your motion to dismiss. This case is less than 24 hours old at this point in time.